It's May 23rd, and coming up on DIGITALK, Facebook is taking a hit on the stock market, and you can now buy electric conversion kits for your 3 Series BMW. Find out what I mean by that, and later in the show I'll be talking about Glary utilities for the Windows operating system. And we also have my game of the month tonight, so stick around. This is DIGITALK. Hello everyone, welcome to DIGITALK. I'm Jay. I'm glad you could join us tonight. We have a great show for you tonight as always. I will be reviewing Glary Utilities later in the show, a utility program that improves speed and memory on your hard disk for your Windows machines. Tonight I'll also be reviewing Trials Evolution, a game for Xbox 360. But before we get into any of that, I want to let you know how to reach us here at DIGITALK with any questions and comments you might have. There are a few ways to contact us. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/DigitalkShow, or follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/DigitalkShow, or email us at digitalkshow@jbdavisproductions.net. And of course, you can always call us live tonight at 978-777-2720, so please do. So now is the time where we update you on what's happened in the tech world recently. As always, we have our news up first with 5 topics to run through this week. So let's get right into it. It's time for the news. And welcome back to DIGITALK. Our first news story has to do with electric motors. Electric Motor Works has been working on BMW E46s in order to convert them from combustible engines to electric. They showed a converted sedan at Maker Faire Bay Area 2012. According to DIGITALK, the company quoted provides affordable and environmentally responsible electric conversion kits for the BMW E46. These are available directly to consumers, but Electric Motor Works is also building a network of installers and setting up its own facilities, end quote. The converted cars can go from 0 to 60 in less than 6 seconds and can top at 120 miles an hour. It takes 2.5 hours to fully charge the batteries, and both automatic and manual transmission types can be converted. Currently, the price of the conversion kits are $15,000 each. Sounds pretty cool for an electric car. And next up, TalkOn, the new app made by the company of the same name, is an app for Android phones that predicts how much radiation your cell phone emits at any given point. CNET.com said in a recent article that, quote, some studies have linked these emissions to cancer, reduced sperm count, infertility, and other conditions. Meanwhile, there are a number of other studies that show no link at all, end quote. The Android app, according to CNET.com, quote, notifies you when you may be experiencing high exposure, end quote. High exposure doesn't conclusively mean that the user would develop cancer or another condition, so it seems that TalkOn's use of the word exposure is the right term as opposed to dangerous level or some other scary term. TalkOn uses information provided by the phone, such as network signal, radio frequency, and phone model in order to make its prediction about human exposure level. It does not actually read radiation level because it's limited to the phone's hardware, so one has to wonder if it's actually doing anything. Google has bought Motorola Mobility, receiving the go-ahead from Europe, the United States, and China. Motorola Mobility is now under the banner of Google for $40 a share, totaling approximately $12.5 billion. For the time being, Motorola Mobility will operate as a separate business. On the downside, there have been rumors that this will cause massive layoffs in Motorola Mobility. This could very well be true because rumors also claim that Google isn't truly interested in developing the hardware, but instead values the patents it's gaining. And next up, we have some Facebook news. We're continuing our story now on Facebook's initial public offering. Facebook's stock has been tanking since Friday. Monday, its price went down by 11%, and then yesterday, its shares opened down even further by 66.6%. Today, it seems to have stabilized, resting around $32 a share. It's becoming clear that the stock value of Facebook was greatly overvalued, and this means that even though there are over 1 billion users of the social networking tool, the $100 billion valuation may be too high. Facebook initially sold its shares at $38 a piece on Friday and has been drastically dropping down ever since. Roger Chang of CNET says that, quote, Facebook hasn't quite figured out its business model and how to fully take advantage of the larger audience it has captured. More worrisome to investors is Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg's insistence that profits take a backseat to the user experience, an admirable goal for consumers, but a scary prospect for shareholders, end quote. And also in Facebook news, the Massachusetts Secretary of the Commonwealth issued a subpoena to Morgan Stanley, the major underwriter for Facebook's initial public offering on Friday. Supposedly, analysts working for Morgan Stanley, J.P. Morgan, and Goldman Sachs all cut their revenue estimates for Facebook after seeing the social network company's revised S-1 filing. Facebook was newly concerned about being able to adapt to the market's trend toward mobile devices. An anonymous analysis says that a financial executive working for Facebook told him to cut his estimates outright, telling him that revenues will not reach expectations. Morgan Stanley said directly to the Washington Post that, quote, Morgan Stanley followed the same procedures for the Facebook offering as it does for all IPOs. These procedures are in compliance with all the applicable regulations, end quote. Retail investors are suing NASDAQ and Facebook because they say that the exchange was negligent when handling the orders on Friday. The suit is filed in Manhattan and in California. And according to NPD Display Search, Apple is at the top of the game, of the mobile PC game for the first quarter of 2012. Apple shipped 17.2 million mobile PC units, including all iPad versions. HP took second place with 8.9 million units. Market share numbers put Apple and HP at 22.5% and 11.6% respectively. If we were to take a look at the numbers without the iPad, HP would be at the top. They are in the #1 slot when it comes to laptops. And coming up after the break, I'm going to be talking about Glary utilities and smart computing. We also have my game of the month later in the show, Trials Evolution. So you don't want to miss it. This is DIGITALK.
Diabetes can destroy your life. After I was diagnosed, I didn't feel sick, so I didn't listen to my doctor. I had a heart attack, then a stroke, and I was only 49.
Learn how to reduce your risk of stroke. Call for your free diabetes survival guide.
You say you'd give your right arm to be there for your family? Here's your chance to prove it. Have your blood pressure checked and control it to lower your risk of heart attack and stroke.
They say every picture tells a story. Last year, 31,000 stories were left unfinished because of HIV/AIDS, and 160,000 were cut short by breast cancer. But this is about DVT, deep vein thrombosis, and its potentially fatal complication, pulmonary embolism, that ended 300,000 stories last year. More than AIDS and breast cancer combined. DVT is a blood clot, usually found in the leg, that can break loose and travel to the lungs where it can be fatal. Some risk factors include obesity, recent surgery, restricted mobility, respiratory failure, and advanced age. There's one story I know by heart. It's about an NBC correspondent, a young husband and father named David Bloom, who died of DVT-related complications while covering the Iraq War. I'm Melanie Bloom, and I tell David's story so others will be able to write happier stories and reduce their risk. So please talk to your doctor about your risk of DVT and visit preventdvt.org.
And hello everyone, welcome back to DIGITALK. I'm glad you could join us tonight after having a bit of a hiatus over a couple of weeks. I want to let you know that you can find our latest show on DCAT servers at danverstv.org. You'll also find these shows, and all of our DCAT's recent shows by clicking the on-demand menu button at the top of the page. And welcome to my Smart Commuting segment. This week we're going to be looking at Glary Utilities. Glary Utilities is a program for Microsoft Windows and developed by GlarySoft Incorporated. The software suite includes various system tools designed to fix, speed up, and maintain your personal computer. The utility suite is broken up into 5 different categories, including cleanup and repair, optimize and improve privacy and security, files and folders, and system tools. Each category has specifically designed tools to keep your computer running at peak performance. A one-click option will easily clean your registry, repair shortcuts, fix any startup issues, clean temporary files, and scan for any spyware. The program is totally free for private use and is constantly updated. The interface is user-friendly, and again, all the utilities in the suite can be carried out with just 1 or 2 clicks of the interface. The program can be downloaded from GlarySoft.com and is well worth it. There are many free programs that promise to do what Glary Utilities does. However, only Glary Utilities makes it so simple. I definitely recommend it as part of a computer maintenance program and works well with other utilities like CCleaner, which I covered back in February. The current version is available for all flavors of Windows, so Mac and Linux users unfortunately out of luck. I use the software on a weekly basis to keep my system running in tip-top shape. Using the one-click feature, I am able to clean up a ton of junk files, repair invalid registry entries, clean up invalid shortcuts, fix dangerous startup entries, clean temporary junk files, and erase browser history and remove any nasty spyware. The whole process only takes a few minutes, the only downside being that the temporary files cleaner and tracks eraser only works with Internet Explorer, so if you use Chrome, Firefox, and Safari, users are out of luck. For more advanced users, there is a module section where you can delve even deeper into your system, but I found that the one-click option is fine for most users. Again, if you're looking for a set of utilities to keep your system clean and running smooth, Glary Utilities is well worth your time. You can't go wrong with free software that works. I do recommend it as part of an overall maintenance routine for your computer. There are spyware cleaners that do a more thorough job, but Glary Utilities is a great place to start, so make sure you check it out now. There is also a $30 Pro version that offers automatic care and background, enhanced system fixing and optimizing, 24/7 technical support, and consent for commercial use. So if you need those features, it is still a great value and well worth the asking price. Check it out and feel free to contact us here at DIGITALK and let us know how it worked for you at digitalk@jbdavisproductions.net. And we still have more to come. After the break, we have my game of the month, Trials Evolution. Find out what this game is and my rating for it. Stay tuned. You're watching DIGITALK.
Diabetes has been called a silent epidemic. It's time we call it out for exactly what it is. A very serious disease that has to be stopped. This is Brett Michaels. Join us. Choose to share, act, learn, and give. Help us stop diabetes.
You say you'd give your right arm to be there for your family? Here's your chance to prove it. Have your blood pressure checked and control it to lower your risk of heart attack and stroke.
Alcohol is the leading contributor to injury and death for people under 21.
You think it's okay?
You think it's okay?
You think it's okay to buy alcohol?
To buy alcohol? As long as you take my car keys?
As long as you take my car keys?
Taking the keys?
Taking the keys won't stop me.
Won't stop me.
From hooking up?
Drinking until I pass out?
Or getting my face kicked in?
If you want to help keep me safe,
stop kidding yourself.
And stop providing.
Does peace really have a chance within our lifetime? At Rotary, we believe it does. We've created programs at universities around the world dedicated to teaching peace and understanding to a new generation. There is a new symbol for peace, Rotary. Make a difference in District 7930 Rotary Clubs in northeastern Massachusetts and southern New Hampshire. Contact us at www.rotarydreams.org. Rotary, building communities, bridging continents, and making a difference with 100 years of service in Massachusetts.
It is a counterfeiter because it can print money at its own discretion.
They set the system up so that debtors are rewarded and savers are punished.
We owe tons of interest to the Federal Reserve. It's so important to understand that we need to use gold and silver.
Debt and leverage is okay, but it's when you get excessive, like the path we're on now, there's no return. I think we've passed the point and they know it.
All of this comes together.
And hello everyone, welcome back to DIGITALK. We're glad you could join us tonight. And before we go into my game review of the month, I'd like to tell you a little bit about looking for some crew. I want to let you know that you can help out on the show by becoming a member of DCAT and taking a couple of production classes if you live in Danvers. Just come to DCAT and let us know, or you can email us at digitalk@jbdavisproductions.net. This is a great opportunity for those that wish to get into the news business or for those who just want a taste of what it would be like to work on a fast-paced show. Come join our crew and be part of the fun. And before we go on, I'd like to get a shot of our gallant crew there, if we could. There they are. Awesome. Thanks, guys. And now it's time for the game of the month. And now on to my game of the month. This time we will be looking at Trials Evolution. Trials Evolution is a 2.5D platform racing game developed by Red Lynx and published by Microsoft Studios. It's a sequel to the critically acclaimed Trials HD. The game was released for the Xbox 360 on April 18th and is available to download from the Xbox Live Arcade. In Trials Evolution, the player controls a rider on a physics-based motorcycle from the beginning of the level to the end, while trying to navigate a number of different obstacles. The objective is simple, and the player needs to complete each course as fast as possible and with as few crashes, known as faults, which add to the player's overall time. The player can control the bike's pitch as well as speed on the course or while in the air. Since the game uses 3D graphics on a 2D plane, the rider can only move forwards and backwards. While the gameplay is simple to pick up, it's very difficult to master. This makes the game challenging but fun, as you always want to play just one more time to try to beat your previous score. Additional gameplay features include the ability for the player to customize his rider's and motorcycle's appearance as he earns cash for completing certain goals. Another new feature is how the line of movement can curve, making for more creative and challenging tracks. Trials Evolution also includes a real-time multiplayer mode that allows up to 4 players to compete simultaneously on either the same console or over the Xbox Live service. Players can compare several statistics, including medals and money earned. You can find a leaderboard so you can see how you stack up against other members of the Trials community, and there are also several challenge modes that allow you to compete in events such as how long you can go on 1 tank of gas, which adds a lot of depth to the game. Players can also design and share their own maps utilizing the in-game editor. As with its predecessor, Trials HD, players are given the same editor that the developer used to create the game's levels. This time, players are given 2 variants of the editor. The Light editor is similar to Trials HD's in that players can create courses in a user-friendly manner. The game's Pro editor provides full access to content creation. Players can use not only the features of the Light editor, but can also use the game's scripting engine to create entirely different scenarios. Again, like the game, the editor is easy to pick up but difficult to master. During my trip to PAX East 2012 this year, I got some hands-on time with the game, and being a fan of the original Trials, I was very impressed with the new outdoor tracks and editor. I felt that it was very reminiscent of the old-school Nintendo game Excite Bike, but with graphics you expect to find in today's games. The game is a top seller on Xbox Live and is a must-download, even if you're not a fan of racing games. The sounds are authentically recreated, and while the music might not be everyone's cup of tea, it does fit well with the gameplay. I highly recommend you check out the game. I'm giving the gameplay a 9, the graphics an 8, music and sound an 8, and replay value a 9. These average out to a final score of 9 out of 10. Trials Evolution is available now for 1,200 Microsoft points or $15. And it's another time we've reached the end of the show. But before we go, there are a few ways I want to let you know how to contact us. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/digitalk/show, or follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/digitalkshow, or email us at digitalkshow@jbdavisproductions.net. Stay tuned to DCAT for the Peel, coming up at 7:30, featuring Darren Rozamek and Sean Gibbons. From all of us here at DigiTalk, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks. Good night, everyone.